I go work like a doctor. When I rock the mic, you got to like the way I.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Granville Emerson, and welcome to LidLine Sports. I think we got the whole crew with us tonight. Yeah, there they are. The renowned Renault, Pepe Bean, and Lil O. What's good?
What's happening? Glad to be back.
What's going on, Jet?
To be back. What are you talking about over there, Pep?
I said, what's going on, Jet Setter?
Man, it's I'm just out, on the road, enjoying myself back on the AAU circuit.
Right.
How'd the tournament go?
I thought it was a really good tournament, a really good week. I coached a 16U team that I never met the dudes before in my life, and we never practiced. And I was just literally drawing up stuff on the whiteboard. We dropped our first two and then won 3 straight and got robbed yesterday in the last game. What's up, Johnny Ugley? Got robbed, man. I'm like, this is a bad thing about AAU, man. When you got referees, they ref a lot of games, and they don't sometimes take it serious. And we were down 3 and stole the ball and got it back with 3 seconds left. Actually, we knocked the ball off a dude and got it back with 3 seconds left. And their coach's strategy was to foul, intentional foul, right? But their kid intentionally fouled my dude while he was shooting, like grabbed both of his arms on the shot. And the referee, no call. And then he just ran off the floor. Like, I ain't going in overtime.
He's ready to get home.
Right?
He had dinner waiting on him.
It was something, man. I hate stuff like that to happen, man, because we had made such a great play to get the ball back, right? And then he just took it out of the kid's hands in terms of, having a chance to go to overtime, man. And then it was really bad. It was so bad that his partner, another thing about AAU is not 3 refs, it's just 2. So his partner came up and apologized to me for like 2 or 3 minutes. I was like, dude, it's over. Like, I'm good.
You don't mean nothing now.
Yeah, it's over. It's still an L. Like, what if you can't change that L? What difference do it make?
Yeah.
Right. And I was pissed off, man. Because we had won 3 straight. I wanted to win 4 straight and just went out. After we had kind of got it together. We're at Chapman University before the 3rd game, and we had a little shoot around and a walkthrough, so I was able to walk through and put in some plays and stuff like that, so I could kind of manipulate some stuff. And so then the next game we won. We beat the top 2 teams. We beat them, and so that was really good to see. And just that loss yesterday kind of put a damper on it. But I thought it was a good week. I love the way it's done. It's a high academic program that has teams all over the West Coast, or all over the West. So there were teams there from Utah, Colorado, Arizona, Washington. I didn't see any teams from Oregon, but maybe, in California. And we beat this very good team from LA. And so the way they do it is they bring the kids in on Wednesday and Thursday, and they have a camp with Division II, Division III, and NAIA coaches. And those coaches run the camp. So they do all the drills and skills and coach all the games with the kids. So for Wednesday and Thursday, all I had to do was drop the kids off, greet some coaches, meet and greet for a little while, and I was out.
Enjoying that weather, huh?
I was out to the beach, baby. and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were the games. And so for Open Premier run, which is good. So I really like the way they do it. High academic is a whole kind of league, so to speak, where they do all these different tournaments in different cities throughout the year. So it was actually really cool. And Chase Young is director of Seattle Select, where our coach does a fantastic job and actually has worked with them to bring that same thing to Washington. So the week before last, we went down to Centralia and we did the same thing with the camps and the coaches. And there's like 50 coaches, man. And so it's the opportunity for the coaches to see kids. And like I said, everybody's not going D1.
Right.
You know, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a good opportunity to get a D2 scholarship, play D3 where they find you money. And even if you do pay, you're not paying really that much money. And then NIA gives you full scholarships too. And so the objective is, I tell kids all the time, is get your college paid for because it's so much. Like we went to Chapman, man. Chapman, very nice college. Everybody's talking about how nice it was. I'm like, it should be nice. It's $75,000 a year to go here.
Sheesh.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It should be nice.
Yeah.
What's up, Rhonda Dorsey? I'm like, man, they're bobbing people over the head with college tuition.
Yeah. For real.
So basketball and any other sport you play, or if you're able to get academic scholarships. I know a kid got an academic scholarship, full ride to USC, plays for Kent Ridge. Drew Liddell, I'm going to shout him out because he had some D3 offers to play basketball. And I was trying to tell him, he's a kid that trains with me or trained with me. And I was trying to tell him, man, you know, you play basketball until people tell you don't. And then USC came with that full ride on an academic scholarship. I was like, you got to go. Put that ball down and go to USC. What's up, Bill Walker Jr.? So it's all good. Anybody watch the home run derby? Watching the home run derby?
I got it tuned in right now. I didn't get to watch the first round.
Hey, it's more exciting than a regular baseball game. Juan Soto, I almost called him Juan Cotto. That's the other dude on Rainier Avenue Radio. Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani tied, and then they went to a swing off, and they tied again, and then you get 3 bats, and whoever hits the most home runs in 3 bats wins. And Juan Soto hit all 3 out the park. And it's in the, I think it might be in the finals now with Juan Soto and somebody else. But it's pretty exciting. It's more exciting than a regular game. That's for sure. And at first I didn't even know it was on, but I had turned on the radio for a minute, and it was just coming on the radio. It is really exciting on the radio, like really exciting. Like I turned on the ESPN broadcast, and it was kind of boring until that swing off, whatever you call it, between Soto and Ohtani. But it's pretty good. So give me your thoughts, guys, on Shohei Ohtani. Is he better than Babe Ruth?
I can't speak. I can't speak on that. I mean, you know, there's just names that you don't really put nobody in comparison with. Michael Jordan, Babe Ruth, players like that. So it's like I always say about Michael Jordan, his legacy will never be touched.
What? That's that video talking right now. Huh? You can't compare nobody to Michael Jordan.
I mean, people try, but I just think his legacy.
That's legacy talk. You've been hoodwinked by the original Space Jam.
Exactly. You can try to do as much as you want. As much as I think LeBron is maybe the better player, is when it comes to his legacy, though, all these guys can do as much as they want to try to mimic it. You won't touch it. I didn't get to see Babe Ruth as a pitcher or a hitter. I know he was a great hitter.
Pepper, you frozen?
Yeah, I think he is.
He on a deep freeze on an 85-degree day.
Shohei Ohtani, though, is an amazing player. What he's able to do as a pitcher and then as being a power hitter right now, he's putting on a show. So I think what he's doing right now is great for baseball as well. He's been putting a spark into a lot of people watching baseball. A lot of people tune out to watch him. I wish I was able to watch him play when he came to Seattle over the past weekend. But yeah, he's the real deal for sure. I can say that.
Yeah, after we won Friday night, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I was sitting at the bar having Parmesan wings, watching the Angels and the Mariners. So I'm in Angels territory, right? Right. So everybody in the bar is Angels fans watching the game. And Mitch Haniger steps to the plate. Do you remember what happened on Friday night?
I know he hit a home run.
Grand slam.
Yeah, grand slam. Yep.
Yeah, he hit Mitch Haniger with the grand slam, and I was like yelling, and then folks like, "This fool right here." Get out of here, Pep. You probably need to restart, bro, because you look like a portrait over there. Daniel, you clowning him now, bringing the full screen. You know he's frozen. You might want to restart. Go out and come back in. Restart your computer or whatever you got going on over there. So yeah, Shohei Ohtani is going to be the starting pitcher in tomorrow night's All-Star game, and he's going to be the leadoff hitter for the American League. That's quite something right there. Definitely. John A. Ugly, what up? So that's quite something right there. Make sure you guys, if you have anything that you want to chime in with, put it in the chat, all right, for this program. Thanks. Appreciate y'all watching and listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, listening on Rainier Avenue Radio and all of our podcast platforms. All right, I've delayed this long enough. Let's get to this Milwaukee Bucks Phoenix series. Otis.
Yeah.
You don't have to get to your portion of it right now of Lil O on the NBA. We'll just talk off the top about let's talk off the top about Phoenix getting to the championship through a bunch of injured teams.
Man, I think every team has to have a little bit of luck, to get this far. And with that, their Suns' luck came with some injuries, making it to the finals. They also, I think, were one of the most consistent teams all NBA as well. And every team that they played, you have to have that next man up mentality. And they were in some battles with the LA Clippers. I thought the LA Clippers actually played really well that series. They were definitely missing though Paul George or Kawhi Leonard.
No, Paul George was missing and Kawhi Leonard was hurt.
Yeah. And no excuses. If you're gonna be a superstar, that is the weight that's going to be put on your shoulders, and we're talking about Paul George. I will say that I think he, for the most part, I think he did all he could. When you're put in that situation where you have to provide so much offensively and defensively as well, it takes a toll on you. And I just think Game 7 Game 6 he was gassed. I mean, I also think as a superstar you do not go out like that though. Only shooting the ball 15 times is inexcusable in a closeout game. So, yeah, I don't know. But it's hard to put that superstar tag on Paul George for reasons like that. But, I thought he played pretty solid, though, for most of the series so far. But that man, Reggie Jackson, I hope L.A. gets to keep him. But if they don't, he's going to go get paid.
Well, if they keep him, they got to pay him. But
that too.
But he definitely rose up in the playoffs and elevated his stock tremendously. Mm-hmm. Pat Beverly, what's wrong with that guy, man? What is wrong with him? I mean,
just a passionate guy who I think taking the loss, I think got the best for him. If you're talking about that push at the end, that emotion that he wears on his shoulder is half the reason why he's in the NBA.
But don't be a punk and put somebody in the back. Square up
exactly. That's who you push him in the back on top.
Square up on him if you're gonna be a man about it. And square up. Don't go push somebody in the back.
Yeah, you
I
heard
thought
what
he
he said.
did it just so he can get ejected.
Yeah, because I remember you saying something like, "Why isn't he on the bench?" or something like that because you thought he walked out.
Yeah, sit there with the rest of your squad and take that butt kicking. Don't be getting ejected from the game.
Yeah, sore loser for sure.
Yeah, that's Bush.
And then also getting back to what you said about the injuries. Also credit I haven't really heard too many people talk about the Phoenix Suns are a young team. All these guys have never been here before as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they got some good young dudes, man. I tell you, he's gonna be a force. Cameron Johnson's gonna be a force, man.
Man,
he's gonna be a force. That dude is long, athletic, can shoot it, got bounce, ooh-wee, and he's smart.
He moves without the ball. Yeah, he's getting his master's right now in the final.
Yeah, writing his dissertation during the playoffs. That's a smart dude right there.
Yeah.
And my guy, what's my guy? The little lefty I told you I was gonna be calling.
Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne, yeah. Cameron Payne, that guy. He's nice too. Pep, are you back?
I hope so.
Say something. Say something so we know you're here.
Well, I figure you can see me, so.
I guess no, but you're not saying nothing, so I can't tell if you're still frozen or not. I was seeing you, but you was frozen.
Yeah, but I can't interrupt when you guys are talking, so I just gotta wait my turn.
You have before, but I digress. Anyway, Pep. So we're talking about right now the Clippers Phoenix series. Basically, we're talking about the Suns making it to the NBA championship through a bunch of injured teams. You have any thoughts?
Well, yeah, I'm with Otis as far as I've been on the Suns this year, as you guys know. I really like them because they went 8-0 in the bubble, so that was just the start of who they're becoming. And so this year, they came in number 2 in the West. So obviously they're for real. They're not fake. It's not just just a phenomenon that just happened for this year. They've been steady for the last 2 years now. So I'm not surprised what they did to the Clippers. They probably would have done that against Utah or anybody else they faced. Phoenix showed that they're the best in the West, and I like what they're doing. I like Chris Paul. I've been hearing all the last couple of weeks. They're saying is he a top 5 point guard? I say he's probably top 3 point guard all time. I know it might be blasphemous to say that. I mean, because you're talking about players like Isaiah Thomas and all that.
Who's your top 5?
Well, come on, Magic, Stockton, that kind of, Jerry West, those kind of guys. But you know what? But here's my point. Okay, forget all that. Here's my point. Wherever Chris Paul has been, he has been a winner for the most part. I mean, yeah, he's been on some terrible teams when he was with the Hornets before, but for the last 5-6 years, wherever he's been traded to, he's elevated them. He doesn't turn the ball over at a great rate. He's steady, and in closeout games, he's getting you 30 and 40. The guy's been phenomenal, and he deserves recognition as a top 5 point guard all time. I truly believe that.
Otis, your thoughts?
I think Chris Paul's definitely been knocking on that door, and with so many other like superstar Hall of Fame players, you always hear that no ring talk, and he's a part of that conversation. I think with the ring, he's solidified as a top 5 point guard. Numbers and just like Pep says, being able to win wherever you go. Not winning always doesn't have to mean win a championship. Being able to elevate your team, even contend and be a playoff team, that's a unique skill that not a lot of players have. He's one of the players that can elevate any team. What was that, Pep?
Let's be honest. If that trade, Chris Paul would have went to the Lakers, how many rings do you think Chris Paul would have by now?
Well, that's why David Stern didn't let him go to the Lakers.
Exactly. That's my point.
Which was unprecedented. And one of the reasons why I disliked David Stern before his finale of taking the Sonics and putting them in Oklahoma City. But I disliked him then when he wouldn't let Chris Paul go to the Lakers. I'm like, what is? How are you restricting free agency? That should have been illegal. That was a gangster move in professional basketball. I mean, it's something that to me puts a black eye on the sport. Like, how can you stop a man from in an era of free agency? How can you stop him from going to a team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never heard that ever happen.
There's never been this. It's never happened before, and it never happened since.
Yeah,
Right. And so if he was in LA with the Lakers, number one, he'd probably still be there, right? Because
Yeah.
there would be no reason to get rid of him. And
Yeah.
plus, how many rings do you think he would have?
zero.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that. What's up, Michael Carter? I think that Chris Paul is a phenomenal basketball player. He is definitely a top 5 point guard in the league. He is the quintessential point guard. He's what you want in a point guard. He's
Absolutely.
a leader. He's a communicator. He steps up in big moments. He makes other players around him better. He's a coach on the floor. He's everything you want in a point guard. And so I give my props to Chris Paul. I've loved that kid since his granddad died when he was in high school. And I think he dropped 61, which was his grandfather's age at the time, to honor him. And I remember that like it was yesterday. Yes, Rhonda Dorsey, Chris Paul is a true floor general. When you look up floor general in the thesauruses, Chris Paul's picture is next to it.
Yeah, 5-star general.
All right. So before we go to break, though, I want to broach this, and then after break, we'll go to NFL Pep Talk and come back with Lil O on the NBA. I want to broach this subject of USA basketball getting by Nigeria.
Yeah, they lost again today.
And they just lost again today.
Okay, who they lose to today?
Australia,
which is a little more you can stomach because Australia's the top 3 team in the world. But I mean, Nigeria also is clearly must be a really good team as well. They just blew out Argentina, who is the top 4 team in the world. So
yeah, I'm gonna say this because we weren't on the air last week, but when the team came out, I said that team is weak. I mean, they got a bunch of guards. Like, they got Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Ben Adebayo, who's like the only big dude they got, Bradley Beal, Damon Lillard, Jelani Grant,
Jeremy Grant,
Levine, Kevin Love.
But USA likes to run. They like to go small, have the big stretch the floor. But what I think they miscalculated this year is the talent is a little more closer than what it ever has been before. And
hold on. I just want you to expound on what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I want you to expound on what I'm about to say. You said they like to go small and spread the floor.
Mm-hmm.
What has DeAndre Ayton proven thus far?
Oh, yeah. You still got to have a presence down low for sure.
Yes. You still have to have a presence down low.
Mm-hmm.
And who's their presence? Kevin Love?
No.
And Bam Adebayo, yeah. Bam Adebayo's not a scoring presence down low.
Yeah. Where's your presence down low? You make your team one-dimensional.
Yeah, because I think now more than ever, like these guards and wings from other countries are guys that have played in the NBA or in the NBA now. So it's not that far off of a talent grade. And you're now, just like you're saying, you're not dominating down low. You're just thinking you're doing what these guys want you to do.
Yeah.
You're just playing basketball.
Are these games on TV?
Yeah, they've been on NBC Sports.
Oh, okay.
And I actually saw it live streamed on YouTube.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And Twitch, yeah.
So either one of you, if you know or hear about a game, text me or in the chat, hit me up or post it in the chat.
Tomorrow they play Argentina. I'll let you know what time. Okay.
All right. So hopefully I'll be able to watch. So when on the weekends I'm always going to my games. I can't watch nothing. So hey, you play 95 games on a weekend.
You gotta love it though. You gotta love it.
I do, man. I felt so good being out on the road, man, and having fun, man, and being with the kids and everything. I live for that. It just gives me energy, gives me life. So after a whole year of sitting out last year, to be back has been really good. But I'm back to this AAU team. I just don't see who they have that, and I think when we get to the Olympics, it's going to be on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is going to have to beat Kobe.
Yep.
So if you remember when Kobe led USA Olympic team won the gold against Spain.
The Redeem team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Stahl brothers and et al. Remember that game? Anybody remember watching that game where everybody was afraid to shoot? The game was close. Gold medal game. Everybody was afraid to shoot, and Kobe was like, give me the ball. And he just took over. That's what Durant is going to have to do for the USA team to win. So I imagine they're losing these games because they're playing everybody, and they haven't played together. The teams that they played have played together.
Yeah,
you can't discount that. You have to develop chemistry. The coaches got to figure out who to play when and who to do what with whom. Does that make sense?
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, and so that's what these exhibition games are for. So they really don't mean nothing. All that matters is they come home with that gold. The Olympics starts next week.
23rd.
That's next week.
Yes.
All right.
And they are missing 3 people. Yes.
Who are they missing?
Chris Middleton, Devin Booker, and Drew Holiday.
Okay. All right. Is Giannis playing for Greece? All 3 of his brothers can play for Greece, and they might beat him.
Should be playing for Nigeria, but I wonder if he's playing a little bit.
Should be playing. Well, they can play for Nigeria too, and it really might get rough if Giannis and his 3 brothers are playing for Nigeria.
They looking all right now. Mike Brown got them looking all right.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, we're going to take a break. I want to thank all of you all for tuning in to LidLine Sports with Renault Pepe Bean and Otis Lil O Stevenson, my man. And I'm Granville Emerson, by the way. You're listening on Rainier Avenue Radio.world and on all of our podcast platforms and watching on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away. We got more to say.
Rainier Avenue Radio.
Welcome to the coronavirus pandemic. I'll take coronavirus for 100. Fever, chills, shortness of breath, loss of taste or smell. What is staying home and isolate? Correct.
Coronavirus for 200.
Inability to stay awake, persistent pain or pressure in chest, trouble breathing. What is seek immediate help? Correct.
Coronavirus for 500.
Crippling and potentially dead infectious disease eliminated the United States with vaccination.
What is the polio vaccine?
Correct.
I'll take coronavirus for 700.
The Daily Double! Should I take the coronavirus vaccine? Wait. Hold up. This is not a game. It's time for serious discussions. We have coronavirus vaccines, but not everyone is comfortable taking them. Here's the facts. Based on what has been proven about vaccines for other diseases, COVID-19 vaccine may help keep you from getting seriously ill, even if you do get the virus. Getting vaccinated also may protect people around, particularly those at greater risk for severe illness from COVID-19. We don't yet have all of the answers. Get informed, talk to your healthcare physician, and make the right decision for you. This is a message supported by the Washington State Department of Health.
What's on your heart? Are you exhausted at the lack of progress for people of color in business, politics, and life? This is Cindy Bright, the host of Heartbeat Radio. Each week, we explore this heart condition in the country that is affecting you and me. We have real conversations about what's necessary for change. It's time to change this dialogue. Will you join this Heartbeat bi-weekly Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Brenda Charles Edwards, host of Seniors Matter. Join me every week to get information on activities and issues that impact the lives of older adults and their families. That's Seniors Matter every week on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This message is brought to you by Public Health, Seattle and King County, the Washington Department of Health, Washington Chapter AAP, and Within Reach. No matter where your classroom is, whether in person or online, routine vaccinations protect your child from serious diseases like measles, mumps, and chickenpox, and they keep your child safe, healthy, and thriving. Need help finding a provider? Visit parenthelp123.org or call the Help Me Grow Washington hotline at 1-800-322-2588.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not shouting, "Badia!" at city council meetings, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Hello, I'm Granville Emerson, and welcome back to LidLine Sports, along with my partners, Renault, Pepe and Lil O Stevenson. I want to shout out, before we go to NFL Pep Talk, Heartbeat Radio's Cindy Bright. Cindy Bright has written a book called The Color of Courage, Crushing Racism in Corporate America. She's having a book release party this Saturday, 1 p.m. at Real Logic's Sotheby's International Realty in Bellevue, hosted by the renowned Aaron Jones, the educator. So if you are in the area, stop by and support Cindy. I'm really proud of her for writing that book, The Color of Courage, Crushing Racism in Corporate America. Shout out to Cindy Bright, Heartbeat Radio's own, Rainier Avenue Radio's own, Cindy Bright. All right, to the NFL. Pepper.
Thank you, G. Within 2 weeks, there's 2 weeks left until the start of training camps around the league. Guys, did you know that there is a COVID threshold that was that expires today? What that means is the NFL teams have to have 85% or above vaccination rate. Right now, as of today, earlier today, 7 teams were at that threshold. If you don't, and what that threshold includes is teams have until today, like I said, either to have their second shot, players and personnel to have their second shot, or the first shot or the only shot rather of the J&J Johnson & Johnson vaccine. What that does is it clears teams from major restrictions that's going to be mandated by the league after today. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero confirmed that there were 7 teams that have reached the 85% and above threshold, and they will have fewer restrictions. And those restrictions are pretty significant. They mean there includes daily testing, and that includes bye weeks, masks, of course, and there's limits on the amount of players that can be in a room for meetings and whatnot, and not being able to eat at cafeterias with the team, just to name a few. There's no mention of what 7 teams have actually already reached that threshold thus far. But you guys have any thoughts on that?
Well, of course, I think it's a very good thing to do. Like I said, I'm fully vaccinated, and it's just a relief. Like I posted yesterday, I flew back from California, and the lady next to me was like hacking the whole time. Like, I was like, if I wasn't vaccinated, I'd have been really nervous. I'm vaccinated and wearing a mask. And she was coughing. I was rubbing my arm with sanitizer. But I think it's a good thing. I mean, if we're going to get past this whole thing, people have to be vaccinated. And if you're going to work for an employer and your employer says you need to get vaccinated, you need to get vaccinated. I applaud the president of our school. He told our parents, all of our students have to come to school in the fall vaccinated. If not, you're free to choose another school. Right? Yep. And so if you want to play football, you need to adhere to the football rules. So the vaccination is just like rules are just like the steroid rules, right? Therefore, the protection of you and the other players.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said. Get vaccinated. Like I said, if people complain about all these restrictions, but then aren't vaccinated, so get vaccinated, just like with the NFL. Restrictions become less and less. And also, I would not be surprised if one of those 7 teams were the Seahawks, who was the only team who did not have any people positive COVID tests last season. So that'd be my guess.
Yep. And so, I mean, who wants to go through all those hoops just so you won't get vaccinated? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Well, you know, they're good. They're guys that will, though.
Yeah, they will, but they'll be hating it. They'll be complaining about it.
Yeah, let them hate. Oh well.
Then they're susceptible to the different variants, like the Delta variant.
Yeah, and you're also going to hear about guys that are going to be not able to play that a couple of weeks because of what? COVID protocols. You know, just already we heard earlier with Chris Paul and you know, and baseball. So, you know, get ready for that.
Otis, did Chris Paul have the coronavirus, or is he just in contact with somebody that had it?
I think he had coronavirus, but he, which was weird because he was vaccinated. He didn't have any symptoms or anything. He was asymptomatic.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's what they say when you are vaccinated and you get the coronavirus, you have very few symptoms or limited symptoms.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's interesting. All right, Pep.
Yeah, so what's going on in New England? You guys know? Because, you know, you got Stephon Gilmore holding out, and now N'Keal Harry, wide receiver, has asked to be traded. You know, Cam has been retained, as we know, so he'll be back.
Wait, hold up. N'Keal Harry got traded?
No, he asked.
Asked to be traded. Okay.
Yeah, so he's asked to be traded. And, of course, like I was saying, Cam has been retained. But, of course, questions already abound on whether he starts, him or Jarrett Stidham, or how long will it be before the newly signed number 16 overall first-round pick, Mac Jones from Alabama, will take over. So Gilmore said he does not expect to be traded. However, he's not coming back into the fold until he gets a new deal done. Any guys got any thoughts on that?
I
know one thing. Quarterbacks are set with Cam and Mac Jones now signed under his contract. Hopefully they can retain Stephon Gilmore. He's top 3 cornerback in the league, if you ask me. I know he didn't have that great of a year last year. I don't want to hear the rumors all summer of the Cowboys trying to go get Stephon Gilmore. So hopefully they can just go for that.
Well, you know, the early rumor was he was coming to Seattle. So
yeah,
I doubt that.
Well, you know, nothing matters until the season starts. I mean, guys will hold out for more money. They'll hold out and say they want to be traded. All those are ploys to get more money. And so I don't put any stock into it. Both of them will be with the Patriots when the season starts, as far as I'm concerned. And as far as the quarterback situation goes, I said it when Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Mac Jones was drafted, that he's going to be holding the clipboard. And they did not re-sign Cam for him not to start.
Right.
And they must have seen something in Cam that led them to believe that he could return to some type of form once healthy. He looked good at the beginning of the season. Then he got COVID. And then he said everything was foggy.
Yeah.
And so if he's better now and he's healthy, he could be productive. And so I think that he will be the starting quarterback. I don't see Jarrett Stidham in the picture anywhere. If Cam falters, then they give the ball to Mac Jones. That's just the way I see it.
Gotcha. Yep. I don't hate any of that. The newest team now, we know that the Deshaun Watson talk has been pretty quiet, but last week I did hear some murmuring that there's a team that's rising up, as so to speak, to perhaps try to acquire him. And you guys know who that team is?
The Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins. So do you think they're really ready to make that move and just give up on Tua Tagovailoa that quickly? Or do you think this is just a ploy to get Tua, up to snuff, so to speak, to get him ready and, have him something to have a chip on his shoulder, so to speak? I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts of that?
Oh,
There's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson is the better quarterback. We know football is a year-to-year sport. I mean, I would definitely look into it. Like I said, Deshaun Watson has definitely thrusted himself as being one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
Top five, sure.
Yeah. And the Miami Dolphins have already proven that they're a really good team right now. So
absolutely.
Why not look at it?
Yep.
How do rumors get started? People, right? I do not see the Miami Dolphins giving up on Tua. Here's the thing. Tua's under a rookie contract. Right? Why would I get rid of a promising quarterback with a rookie contract to bring in another quarterback with a big, gigantic contract where I couldn't sign anybody else? They've got a young team. They got a young quarterback. They still got a boatload of draft picks. They got a hell of a lot of talent on their team. They're going to be good.
Yeah.
So I think that they grow with Tua. If he doesn't do anything in the next 4 or 5 years, maybe, but not before then.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then who would want to bring in Deshaun Watson with that baggage?
That's true.
Right. So I don't see it. So maybe that's Deshaun Watson's camp spreading those rumors. I don't know.
Yeah. So you know what? Matthew Stafford, speaking of quarterbacks, has already wowed Sean McVay and his staff in LA. And with the new defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris, taking over from last season's number 1 ranked defense, they and the San Francisco 49ers are the two most mentioned to be favorites to win the NFC West. Seattle, once again, is being dismissed, even though they were 12-4 and won the division last season. And how is it that Arizona might be the best 4th place team ever, as from what they've added and what they've gotten right now? Guys, got any thoughts on the NFC West?
I'd say time after time that this is the best conference in all the NFL. Just like you just said, Pep, everybody has added talent to catch the Seattle Seahawks, and that gap is getting closer and closer every year. And this might be the year the Seahawks don't win that division, but I don't put nothing past Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. The man's a winner, but I'm for damn sure the LA Rams are really scared. And just like you said, Arizona Cardinals would be in the playoffs if they weren't in any other division, for sure.
Yep. G?
I don't know. I mean, that division is a toss-up. Arizona's got weapons. AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins. That's some weapons for Kyler Murray to throw to. I don't. Like I said, I'm not a believer in Matthew Stafford, and so he's got to make me a believer. He's a good regular season quarterback. He's put up a lot of numbers. Kind of like Phillip Rivers, right? Long career, put up a whole bunch of numbers, but what did he win? And so even with a great team, Phillip Rivers didn't win. And so Matthew Stafford has to prove to me that he's a winner when it comes to taking his team into the playoffs and to the championship game. So I got to see it. It's prove it to me, Matt. And I don't care how enamored you are with the quarterback during OTAs, that means absolutely nothing.
I don't want to hear all
Right?
that.
We can all go back to it's always our point of reference here in Seattle. We can go back to Matt Flynn and how good everybody was talking about he looked. And then Russell Wilson showed up and he was out the door. And we never even saw him play for Seattle. So I don't care what people are talking about, how good a quarterback looks in OTAs. And there's not a 6'9", 275-pound lineman breathing down his neck.
Last time we checked, the best quarterback still plays for the Seattle Seahawks. So.
Yeah, and that's the key. The best quarterback in the NFC West plays for the Seattle Seahawks. That's number one. And, another thing is for San Francisco, Jimmy Garoppolo has not proven anything. He can't lead a team without a running game.
I feel like Trey Young replaces him mid-season.
Yeah, I believe that too. Unless this Trey Lance is going to be super.
Trey Lance. Who's Trey Young? Atlanta Hawks, yeah.
Yeah.
Trey
Lance is super duper. I don't see them really making a stark improvement as far as getting over the top. The Rams, like you said, with Matthew Stafford's got to prove it. So I totally agree with all that. So I'm
gonna wait and see too on the Seahawks' new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So I gotta wait and see what that's all about, what they're doing, how effective it is. Is it better for Russ, or is Russ frustrated? I want to see how all that plays out. Right.
Yeah. So, you know what? I don't want to dismiss Arizona because right now they're laying in the weeds because they're
like I said, they got a squad.
They do.
I like Kyler Murray. He's a problem. So
they picked up J.J. Watt, right?
Yeah.
On the defense, and their defense, as far as pass rush, was already formidable.
Yeah.
So, Arizona's laying in the weeds, saying, "Okay, just dismiss us." So
they got ballers. Zach Allen, Chandler Jones.
Yep.
They got ballers. All right. To Lil O in the NBA. What you got for us tonight, Lil O?
Oh, we got the finals. That's what we got. We're 3 games in right now. The Phoenix Suns are up 2-1. They did what they were supposed to do. They took the first 2 games on their home court, both by double digits. Giannis, if you guys do not remember, I'm pretty sure everybody does, did not play the last 2 games against the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals due to an hyperextended knee.
Shout out to Nate McMillan.
Yeah, shout out to Nate McMillan as well. He definitely needs his flowers. I hope Atlanta pays him very well.
He signed a 4-year deal.
Okay.
Yep.
So and I think if Trey's there, I think we're seeing a 7-game series out of that series. But Milwaukee moved on, and hyperextended knee for Giannis has been an afterthought. The man has dominated these last 3 games as you want your superstars to do. The help is what's going to be the key for the Milwaukee Bucks. You can't have inconsistency from Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton, and I think that is a big reason why they are down 2-1 right now. I think games 1 and 2 would have been much closer in the second half if they could have got something from either of those guys. But Giannis, can't say enough about that guy, man. He's proving night in and night out over these playoffs that he is possibly the best player in the NBA. And it's going to take a lot more of that, him dominating the series for them to win. I think they need to steal a game in Phoenix, to win this series. On the other hand, Devin Booker has been amazing so far in his first finals, besides game 3 yesterday. 10 points, didn't play the fourth quarter. And then Chris Paul has shown that he's been waiting for this moment, averaging 24 points a game in this series. And then DeAndre Ayton is one of the best young big men in the game right now with what he's been doing. Game 3, got into foul trouble, and it hurt the Phoenix Suns, who are already without Dario Saric, their backup center, towards ACL first couple minutes in game 1. Torrey Craig messed up his knee in game 2. So the Suns are really thin and cannot afford DeAndre Ayton to be in foul trouble. Giannis owned the paint in game 3. And the Phoenix Suns are going to have to wake up. And once again, I think just like with the Clippers series, they got punched in the mouth. The other team was more physical with them defensively, and the Phoenix Suns was never able to bounce back once the Milwaukee Bucks was able to play with that intense defense like they did in that second quarter the rest of the game. Your guys' thoughts so far on the series?
Yep.
Yeah, well, home cooking. Phoenix had home cooking first 2 games and did what they were supposed to do. Milwaukee came home, got some home cooking. Yeah, as you noticed, there was a foul disparity in the game 1. Phoenix got all the free throws. In game 3 here in Milwaukee, especially Giannis, got all the free throws. I'm not saying those are the keys to victory by any sorts whatsoever, but I'm just letting you know that home cooking, that's what happened.
You're right.
Now, game 4 is going to be pretty interesting because either Phoenix is going to have to shut down some of that inside activity if they can, or Milwaukee is just going to continue to do what they do. And then you said steal a game in Phoenix. Well, when you steal a game, you got to steal a game early in a series. If you win a game on the road later in the series, you're not stealing the game. You're the better team more often than not. So if Milwaukee can continue what they're doing in game 4, I don't see why it wouldn't be any different going back to Phoenix.
Yeah, but we always know that's not the case. And teams generally play different at home than they do on the road.
Yep.
I'm looking for Phoenix to go in and steal game 4 Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for Devin Booker to show up and show out in game 4. And then steal that game and go back to Phoenix and see if Milwaukee can do the same thing. Giannis is shooting 70-something% from the field. I think he's like 30 or 38 from the field, which is ridiculous. And hasn't shot the ball outside of 10 feet. And so we haven't seen anybody do something like that since Shaq?
Right.
And dominate a game from inside. And so if Phoenix can find an answer for him and not let Middleton get going.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yep.
Yeah, then they can take a 3-1 lead on Wednesday. If they cannot, and Middleton gets going, Jrue Holiday gets going. He had 21 in game 3. It's a difficult task, but the key for the Suns, of course, is Chris Paul. Of course, is Devin Booker. And then it's the X factor, like you said, Otis, is DeAndre Ayton. Mm-hmm. That's the X factor. If he controls the boards and he can get 15 to 20, then that 15 to 20 points, along with about 15 or so rebounds, he's controlling the boards. Then he's controlling the game.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm looking to see if that can happen. I believe that can happen. That's why I said I think they're going to go in there and steal game 4. And as Pat Riley, the legendary coach of Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat, coined the phrase that the playoffs don't start till the other team loses on their home court.
I have to say that. And that's right.
And so I'm looking for that to happen on Wednesday and get this series started. I will say this, Otis. I clowned you a lot about the Phoenix Suns, but I want you to know they are one exciting team to watch. I like watching them play.
And that's a lot of credit to Chris Paul, but even more credit to Monty Williams and the job he's done. I personally thought he was robbed for Coach of the Year, even though I understand why Tom Thibodeau won it. To have a young team that starts with a lot of coaches, especially nowadays, is getting a relationship with your players on and off the court. And I think Monty Williams has done a great job of that. And these guys trust him. And they're playing great basketball, and it shows on the court. These guys trust each other. The point of you making about DeAndre Ayton, I think the Suns played really well first quarter and a half of game 3, and DeAndre Ayton dominated that game. That's what the Milwaukee Bucks are willing to give up when they are now switching everything. I think DeAndre Ayton has to be really big down low, and I think he was doing a great job of that before he got in foul trouble. He has to stay physical, stay aggressive offensively. Defensively, the Suns are definitely going to have to pile up that paint by any means possible without fouling. I think they shot well. The Milwaukee Bucks shot well from 3 last game, but you have to close down that paint. You got to close down Giannis first. So I agree with you. Game 4 is when this series really now starts. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. What's your guys' predictions for the series? Who's coming out with the Larry O'Brien trophy?
Well, I'm in a series like this, I'm sticking with the team with the home court advantage.
Okay.
That's
Phoenix. Yeah, that's hard not to go with that. I'll go with Phoenix too, but I will say this: just like G said that Ayton was the X factor for Phoenix. Well, Chris Middleton is definitely the X factor for Milwaukee, because when Giannis was out, he was the alpha dog. So we know he has that in him. So if he can continue to be an alpha dog, then they'll win. I mean, that's the only thing. That's the best thing I can. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah. So it's like this to me. It's like each game is what each team has a trio.
Yep.
What 2 players are playing the best out of those trios each game? We
Yep.
can't really determine.
And that's what it's been so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got game 4 on Wednesday, 5 o'clock, ESPN. I know everybody's going to be tuned in. It's going to be a fun one. Just like we mentioned earlier, the USA team lost their exhibition game. They will be playing tomorrow again. July 23rd is when the Olympics do start. Are they a lock for the gold this year?
No.
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 They're proving to me. Prove it you want to go.
And I think that's what's going to make the Olympics basketball is going to be a lot more fun and exciting every game this year, because I think the talent pool is a little closer.
Yeah, I'm just upset that Japan did not take care of business, and they're in a bad COVID situation and there's no fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's surprising to me.
That's all I got.
Well, that's all we got, because time is up.
Perfect time.
Way to finish on time, Hope. Anyway, we want to thank all of y'all for watching LidLine Sports. Great job, Pep. Great job, Otis. Appreciate both of you. Tune in next week. We'll be back next week. Same time, same channels. Don't miss it. We'll be talking about whatever's going down in the world of sports on LidLine Sports. Sports as we see it from just below our lid. Holla.
Go Suns.
Flying to Phoenix.
25.
Like a doctor, when I rock the mic, you got to like the way I operate.